Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to episode 117 of the DISUNOMICS podcast. Right, bare episode, you know. I'm joined by a special guest. What is your name, special guest?
My name is Phoebe. Hi.
Huh? Why are you laughing already?
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Anyway, young Phoebe, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm splendid. So, today we are talking about... What are we talking about?
Prison.
Okay, cool. So, what do you do for a living?
I am a caseworker and I help ex-offenders into employment, which basically means that I have spent 2 days in custody or in prison and then 3 days in the community. And I do through the gate work, which basically means I work with boys 3 to 6 months on release. And then I work with them in the community as well. So they have some kind of continuity with the person they're working with. And I work with them once they're released to try and help them get into employment.
Okay, good. And how long have you been doing that for?
A year, April gone, so a year and a couple months.
Okay, cool. And how are you finding it?
I love my job. Genuinely.
That didn't sound convincing because you were like...
No, because there's so many different factors that make why you might love your job. And in the sense of the people that I work with, the boys, the clients that I have, working with them and trying to help them move on to their next stage of life, that I love. That I wouldn't change for the world. But obviously, there's other parts of working that aren't always as enjoyable.
Such as?
Targets.
Targets, like what?
So we work with a pay-by-results contract, which basically means that when we do something with the boys, we get paid, which can be as simple as a sign-up and then other worksheets that you might work through, getting them on a course, and then finally getting them into employment, we get paid for that. So you have a certain amount of targets for each month, and they reset every single month.
Okay.
So you need to hit your targets every month because you get paid a certain amount, which your organization is used to, and then every single month they reset. So that can be quite mundane because it's like playing a game on the same level over and over again.
Okay, yeah.
You can't clock it. It's just same thing over and over.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't even know that you lot had targets in that.
Yeah, of course.
That matter to your pay. That's kind of mad.
Well, it doesn't apply to my pay in the sense of I get salary, so I'm getting paid what I get paid anyway. But the organisation's a charity, so they need funding and they need money for other stuff, building, all that kind of stuff. So they use the money everywhere.
Okay, I feel you. So, you've been working in prisons for a year. So what was your opinion on prisons before and now, and what's your opinion on them now?
Do you know what? I didn't have a strong opinion on them before. I just didn't understand. You see those videos on Snapchat of people looking like they're enjoying themselves.
Oh, yeah.
There's 10 man in a cell playing music. I'm thinking, what's going on here? But I don't know why. Part of me just didn't feel like that was real.
I'll never forget one video I saw of the brothers from Northwest. He had rollies on both wrists. He had Jimmy Choos, and his room was kitted out with all different types of KAs. I was like, this brother's living better than me. And I'm free. What's going on here? Well, obviously, I was thinking, how the hell you got bust downs in jail? That's not been nice. But anyway.
When I first went in, I thought everyone was going to be banged up, which basically means behind their doors all day.
Yeah.
Because you hear comments like 24-hour bang up or 23-hour bang up. So you're thinking, they're not going to be out. They're only out for 1 hour. Yeah. When I got into prison, it was completely different. People are walking around freely to a certain extent. They get something called Soch, which is basically social time where they kind of get to talk and chill and go outside and do some exercise and stuff like that. So basically they'll just be everywhere on the wing. Mm-hmm. I was not prepared. You should have seen me. I was basically inside my manager's skin because I was so scared. But
how did they receive you? I
think, well, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, I'm quite lucky. I'm a woman, so I'm civilian staff, which is another thing. So basically, obviously, there's officers and then there's civilian staff. Civilian staff are people that they tend to see as someone who can help. Mm-hmm. So most of the time, people are polite to civilian staff because they feel like they're going to get help. Then I'm black on top of that. So that's another thing that helps me be more received. I'm quite friendly when I'm in prison. Normal day, I'm not that friendly. But because of the environment, you have to be that person that's open. And then I see people that I know sometimes. So that's another way that people might know me. because we might be friends with someone else I know, and then like that, we just start saying hello to each other. One day we'll have a conversation. Yeah. Like that.
Okay, cool. So, if I was to ask you to guess how many people are currently in prison in the UK, what number would you give? Time is ticking.
28,000.
28,000. You're wrong. It is in fact 92,400, which is more people than that could fit into Wembley Stadium. 82,676 in England and Wales, 8,000 in Scotland, and just under 1.5 in Northern Ireland. These are all as the end of June, which is like 2 months ago.
Wow.
So when you look at the trend for the change in population in prisons, what do you think is going up, down, or it's the same?
Personally, I'd say up.
Yeah. Okay, so you got this one right. Yeah, it's going up quite highly. So if you look at the Scottish prison population has almost doubled in size since 1900 and has rose 60% since 1990. So that's crazy. If you look at the UK, no, if you look at England, the population has almost doubled in just over 30 years. It's crazy. Anyway, some more statistics because this is DISUNOMICS and that.
Did you hear that stat about how apparently there's like a third of men in Scotland that have a conviction?
A third? I had to look into that. I don't know what these Scotsmen are doing, fam. Are they that bored out there? So, alleged crime costs the UK hundreds of millions of pounds each year, and prisons have a minimal impact. And prisons have minimal impact on crime. Prisons do not act as a deterrent to crime. Would you say, on your experience, that you can agree with this?
Yes and no, but mostly yes. The only time I feel like it can act like a deterrent is when someone actually experiences prison, and then I think they're more likely not to come back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well...
Obviously, I know people reoffend.
Yeah.
It can go either way. Like, some people experience prison and they're like, geez, I don't ever want to go back. Some people go and it wasn't as deep as they thought.
Well, it's like, I'm going to see you back in a couple of months still.
And the amount of money you can make in prison.
Go on, tell us about that.
Okay, so for any weed smokers, you can get a Benz, which is basically £10, equivalent of £10 worth of weed for £100 in the prison I work in.
Hey, what?
Yeah. You're getting small little Zanko phones. I don't know if you've heard of a Zanko before.
No, I'm a good you.
It's the small little tiny phones. You can get those for like 300, 300.
Yeah.
Smartphones are going for £1,000.
Yeah,
which is fair. I feel like smartphones are £1,000 out here, but obviously
no. I'm like people are selling iPhone 5s for 4 figures. Do you know what iPhone 5 is?
I know.
iPhone 5 is like size of a Snickers bar. It's mad. That's like, whoa, we've gone about at least 6 phones since then. That's wild.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy. So, when you look at per 100,000 people, so if you take 100,000 people, about 174 of them will be prisoners. Do you think that's high or not?
174?
Yeah.
I think it's like a fair number compared to the number that you're saying.
Yeah. So that's in England and Wales. In Scotland, it's slightly lower, 166 per 100,000, and in Northern Ireland, even lower, 96. Okay. So, I'm asking another question.
You didn't even let me answer.
Is what it is. Well, I'll say again. So, what do you think on average is the most frequent sentence, like length? So, is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 17? What do you think?
6 months.
Okay. As at the end of March 2019, the most frequent length of sentences been served was a determinate sentence of over 4 years.
Whoa, what?
Around 48% of the sentence population was serving this length of sentence. About a quarter of prisoners were serving sentences ranged between 1 to 4 years, and around 13% had what word is indeterminate sentences. I'm sounding like a dumbass, but I've never seen that word before in my life. Prisoners in custody for violence against person VATP offences accounted for the highest proportion of prisoners at the end of March. So 1 in 4 prisoners are in there for violent stuff. Does that surprise you?
No.
Okay, cool.
But
sexual, theft and drug... Sorry.
No, I was just saying like violence can happen like...
Just like that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sexual, theft and drug offences accounted for between 12 and 80% of the recent people were in jail. So it doesn't surprise me that there's violence is the reason. And I think it's something that's easily... What's the word I'm looking for? Easily traced. Like if you fist somebody up here and they got a broken nose, like you could take your broken nose as evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you catch on CCTV, or if you shot or use a sharp objects, like makes sense. Do you know what I find mad? Yeah, random. How like people could like have a fight and one person gets fist up, but they go to police and you could actually end up in jail for that.
What do you mean? As in,
like you can go to jail for like grievous bodily harm and that type of stuff. Like that's.
What you think is like it should be normal?
Like you just got fist up, like do you know what I mean? No, but okay, I think if it's a fight, like you just lost in it. Like I can't go to jail if you lost the fight. Like what's that about? Like I could call the fence. But obviously, if you just gone and attack somebody, I understand that.
I'm not gonna lie. If I lost the fight, I need some kind of retribution. Someone needs to pay.
Yeah, someone needs to pay.
But I just be out here losing fights and people walking scot-free.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to go to, I don't know, like the police.
To the police.
And I'm now going to court wearing a suit and tie. Look at the person that punched my lights out. That's bad to me. I'm sorry. It might be toxic, but nah, man. Let's get based with that. Okay. Another question. Okay. Out of 100%, doesn't make sense. So what percentage of the prison population do you believe are female?
I'm going to go low, like 12%.
It is in fact even lower. 5% of the prison population was female, down from 17% in 1900. So in 1900 there were 152 male prisoners per 100,000 population. This rate has increased to 339, blah blah blah. And there's 27. Now there's 16 women per 100,000 women. So let's say you get a young, I don't know, if England's women's team played in Wembley against America and it was a sellout and it was just only women allowed, yeah. Only like 12 of them. That's the ratio, which shows that men are doing way too much crime compared to women, which doesn't surprise me. What do you think? Okay, I've got a list of the top 10, yeah, in terms of nationality of prisoners. Foreign, this is foreigners, yeah?
So not British.
Yeah, so the foreigners, yeah? What do you... Let me see if you can get... I'll give you five attempts to name some countries and I'll see if they're on the list. And then obviously, if they're higher, I'll give you accolades. So go on.
I'm going to go Poland.
So Polish, they're in fact the second on the list.
They're second?
They make up 9% of foreign prisoners. Okay, you got 4 more.
Jamaican.
Yes, they are. Jamaican is 5th on the list, 5%.
Is this just England?
Yeah, so outside of England.
Ireland?
No. Forget that. No, okay. You're right. Ireland are 4th. What am I talking about? Of course, Ireland. I thought Northern Ireland. Yeah, Ireland are 4th. So you're 3 for 3 so far.
Ooh, okay. Where the man from?
Where the man from? She says.
No, there's a batch in prison. I can't remember what country they're from.
What part of the world is it?
Eastern European.
Okay.
Where are they from? There's a batch of them. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember.
Okay, give me your guess because you're just taking long now.
Okay, let me be done. Go on.
Okay, so the number 1 is Albanian.
I think it's them.
Number 2 is Polish, then Romanian, then Irish, then Jamaican, then Lithuanian, then Somalian, then Pakistani, then Portuguese, then Nigerian.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, in terms of age, the proportion of offenders between the ages of 21 and 29 has decreased over the last 5 years, accounting for 34% of the population. which is a lot higher than I thought it would be. I don't think they'll be that high. Actually, no. After you can't be that post 30 still in jail unless you got a big bird, because that's a bit nuts.
It happens.
It does. Yeah. So the ethnicity. When you look at ethnicity of prisoners, I'll just get all the stats out of the way that we could talk about more interesting stuff. Ethnicity of prisoners. When you look at the prison population, it is about 70%. And if you look at Asians, about 8%. So when you look at this figure, and it's got you can see the prison population compared to the general population. So the general population for the UK is about 90-something%. When you talk about white British, prison population is 30%. When you look at mixed people, you get more mixed people in jail than they are in terms of their proportion to society. Asians pretty similar, pretty equal. Black or Black British is significantly higher makeup. So why do you think that is? So the non-white population is overrepresented within the prison population. So 27% of prisoners are non-white, whereas 13% of the society is non-white. I have my own theories on this because if you're a migrant, if you're non-white, you're more likely to be a migrant.
Yeah.
And when you're a migrant, you're more likely to be of working class. You're more likely to be in regions or areas, shall I say, environments that are not as wealthy, more low income. So what's the one I'm looking for? Your proximity to getting them in terms of crime and situation you shouldn't be in is a lot higher than everybody else. So that's my theory. I'm assuming you agree with my theory because it's correct.
I agree.
Okay, cool. From your experience, do you think prisons are overcrowded?
No. No. I think they're understaffed.
They're understaffed. Get into that for me. Go on.
Prison officers work hard. Their hours are long. They do 12-hour days. They start sometimes 7:15, finish at 10. Some days, obviously different shifts. But their job is hard and they don't always have enough people. It should be, the prison I work in, it should be, I think, 2 officers per landing. It's never 2 officers per landing. And yeah, it just makes it dangerous. You've got less response time.
Well, what do you mean by make it dangerous? Explain.
You've got less response time in terms of if something was to happen. If there's 5 landings and someone's downstairs and there's only you, then you're in the middle, it's very difficult for you to stop that situation from completely kicking off. Of course, you ring the alarm and people will be around. People are never too far, but it's just sometimes there's not as many as I feel like they need. And there's times where sometimes this person came off because there was a fire and they got injured. And do you get what I mean? All that kind of stuff that people don't think about, I think. For me, I think they're quite understaffed. Okay.
That's just like the NHS, understaffed. So the cost per prisoner is actually pretty high. So the average direct cost per prisoner, if you look at 17, 18 figures, in England and Wales, about £24,000. So, but taking into account all resource expenditure, the overall cost is £37,000.
Wow.
That is a lot of money.
Per
prisoner, yeah.
Boy. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. Do you feel like, okay, so what do I want to talk about next? Do you feel the facilities in the prisons that you've seen are adequate?
No. Only because the one I work in has cockroaches, and if the prison is quite old, they will have cockroaches and just things won't work as well as they should. But there is some prisons that are private, that are more newly built. Them ones I can't lie, some of their facilities are
What's
nice.
What's the difference between private and public prison?
One's public, so it's with the government, and then the other one's I think Serco is the one who runs them privately. I think it's Serco, it might not be.
Okay, well I'll fact check that, I'll put them in the notes. So how do they decide who gets sent where between public and private? Do you know?
No. From what I know, people bounce between both. All of them, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so we can talk about we can just have a more conversation. It's enough for the stats now. So I want to talk about 2 things, yeah. how society views prisoners, how they're treated when they're inside, and also, do we think prison do you think tougher sentences work? So let's talk about the tougher sentencing. Do you think tougher sentences work? In your experience, from what you've seen, the areas you've grown up in, what do you think?
No, I don't think they do. I feel like if prison fully fulfilled what its purpose was, then it would make more sense. But at the moment, I don't think it does. So tougher sentences are not stopping people from doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, from the research that I've seen, tougher sentences make no difference. They don't really make any real impact onto anything really. And what was it? Okay, so this is quite interesting stat. Yeah, only 25% of prisoners enter employment on release, and their children who had been separated from them are more likely to offend too at some stage.
Well, yeah, I get that, because obviously what I do is help people into employment. So, you see, not everyone gets there. It's not many that actually go and just fully get into a job straight away.
So, what's the average time? Just give us an estimate from what you've been doing.
As in, how long will I be working with someone average?
No, I mean so let's say on average, prisoner X gets released. How long does it take them to get a job? On average, would you just say? I'm just talking about strictly your experiences. I'm not trying to ask you to give a...
It's difficult only because it depends on the industry that you want to go in. So a lot of people come out and they just want to do construction because they know it's easy and they heard that the money's decent. So if you're going to go do that, it's pretty straightforward. Within 2 months, I think you could be in a job because they're taking ex-offenders a lot. It's very popular. But so that, let's say you want something that's a bit different, maybe something that's a bit more academic, not as practical, it can be quite very difficult. I've seen boys wait and wait. So
when you say wait, what time are we talking?
A year.
Blood clot.
But people come out of uni and wait a year.
It's true. It's true.
That's what I always have. I feel like sometimes they come out and they're a little bit entitled. Because you're helping them, they feel like it should be easy for them to get a job. But they don't understand that, first of all, you've come out with no skills. Do you know what I mean? There's people that have fully gone and got degrees and are still in Ladbrokes. Yeah, it's hard for everyone. Yeah. But sometimes they don't always
it's true.
think about that, especially the young ones.
Oh, that's because they haven't had that many life experiences. Okay, cool. So, quick question. Do you think prisoners should be allowed to vote in elections?
Yeah. I just feel like sometimes I feel like prison can treat people a bit inhumanely. And yeah, I just feel like that I feel like maybe you should be able to vote depending on how many years you got. If it's like within a certain amount of years, so you're going to be out when it's going to actually affect you, then I think that would make sense. Because you're trying to teach them how to be part of society. So you can't take things away from them that everyone has. Yeah,
so prisons are meant to do a few things. Retribution, so essentially you should be punished for the crime you committed against the state, against Wakanda. There's also, you're meant to be rehabilitated, reformed, and there's another R that I can't remember. But okay, we'll have to run with the 3 R's for now, I feel like not enough from the outside looking in, and I've had conversations with you, there's not enough emphasis on rehabilitation and reformation. Even from society, I feel like society just wants people just to be punished for crimes. And I understand that obviously if you commit a crime and you're going to jail, essentially your rights have been removed from you because you've obviously violated the rules of the state. But I feel like these people are going to have to come, well, in most cases, they're going to have to enter society again. They have to come and enter and be functioning members of society. They're going to abide by the laws. I believe that I think it's in our best interest as a society to have these people prepared to slot by them. And I think, okay, let's say for example, I am 29 now, Let's say, God forbid, bad thing, I go jail next week, Fam, I should be allowed to vote because I've been paying tax since I was... If you buy something, you're paying tax more often because you're paying VAT. But in terms of like just income tax. For several years, I've been paying income tax. And what, man telling me I can't vote in the next election because obviously a man robbed a couple bits. But, no, jokes aside, I think that everybody should have a right to a vote.
Mm.
And I feel like these people, once they come out, it has to be as seamless as possible. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, certain crimes, I feel like, listen, you should never see the light of day. Like, I feel like if you're a rapist, you should never see the light of day. You should just stay in that jail until it's time for you to go meet your maker, and then God could decide what to do with you then. But more often than not, I feel like if you commit a crime, once you come out, I think society should give you a second chance. What do you think on that?
I think everyone should be given a second chance.
Some people on their 10th chances, I can't lie.
Some people are on their 10th chances.
Some people come in and out of flipping jail like it's a festival.
Yeah, the only difficulty with giving people a second chance is that you put other people at risk.
That's true.
So let's say like someone who's a rapist or a sex offender, you put them at risk. But then sex offence is such a wide, broad offence. It can be as small as peeing on the side of the road, having sex in your car with a consensual partner, to actually raping someone. So
you ain't going to jail for blowing somebody's back out in your car.
I don't know if you will go to jail, but it'll definitely be on your record. And it'll be done as a sex offence.
That's kind of a bit mad having been a sex offender.
But it's such a blurry line. There's people that are, maybe someone's 15, someone's 16, and they have sex, and then someone's mom gets mad and boom, rape underage as well. Just like that. So I can't write off a whole section. It's either everyone or no one.
I can't lie, rapists are getting written off.
Yeah, but that's we can't walk around basing everything on our personal moral compass.
I know. I'm just saying for me, innit? I'm just saying for me. And this is quite
that's not fair.
Yeah, I said it's quite irrational, but I'll affirm that.
I have crimes I don't like people that rob. I really don't like that.
What? So if I yak an iPhone, I shouldn't.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really. No. Can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not fucking with that. I'm not gonna lie because that's so out of order. Like someone's minding their business on their phone. You know, normal citizen. It's not like they even got big money like that. Yeah. You just take their phone out of their hand mid-conversation. Come on. Yeah. Do you know how much of an inconvenience it is to not have your phone?
Yeah, no, it's true.
And you're just there picking people's... No, I don't like that, I think. Yeah. And it's not ballsy either. Do you know what I mean? You've come on a motorbike behind someone. You know they're caught off guard.
I wish you go down. Fly kick you off that bike. Because at first it takes bikes a bit of time to speed up. Yeah. That window, if I catch you, it's all over, Jackie.
I hate that.
Yeah. I was going to say again. So you've worked in this industry for some time now. So explain some of the difficulties you face that you and your clients can face when both of you lot are doing the right thing. But is there certain times when the system gets in the way?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like depending on where you are in your sentence, it can be quite difficult to rehabilitate sometimes. Like I will work with boys who maybe are on remand. And that means that they're still waiting to be found guilty or not guilty. And when you're on remand, there's not really anything for you. You're basically just in midair. You know, no one wants to work with you because you're not sentenced. So I don't know what I'm doing with you because you might go home or you might stay. So people find it difficult to do.
What's the longest you've ever seen somebody being on remand for?
Months. They love moving that court date. Maybe one I've seen is like 8-9 months.
That's wild.
Coming up to a year, people in a year on remand for a year and stuff like that, yeah. And that's just them pushing the date back. We're trying to find more evidence and stuff like that.
So what if it comes out, that we got this wrong. So what happens then?
You go home. Sometimes you can get compensation, but most of the time, let's say if you have another conviction, I don't think you do because it's like, well, we had a reason to think that.
Big man, I wasn't there, man. I don't want to hear, I don't have listen, see that 10 Downing Street, I'll be there every day. You think you can slap me in jail for 9 months? That's a maternity cycle, you know? I could have had a child in that period of time. No. You're compensating me 100 bags per month. Yeah, no. That's mad. So, okay. What questions I'm trying to think of what listeners would like to know. So let's say, okay, cool. With your clients, yeah. So you work with under 25s, isn't it?
Mainly, yeah.
Mainly under 25. So let's say you pick up like, if I was to get 10 random boys, yeah. How many of them would you say, do you know what? Despite what they've done, you think like, oh, that's a good person there?
8 or 9.
That doesn't surprise me. That's what I thought as well. Do you? How often? And I want to just a genuine bad.
Like, there's some people you meet that it's not even that they're a bad person. They're just not at that stage of their life to make that kind of change, or they're not at a stage where they completely understand everything that they're doing. That happens a lot, but not as much as there is good boys.
Don't you just get people that just they know what they're doing and they're just doing it? Yeah,
100. But that doesn't mean you're a bad person. Did you get what I mean? If we're talking like drugs and stuff, people are selling drugs all the time.
Oh yeah, no, okay. Yeah, it's true. I think my personal opinion. I find the drug thing so interesting because society looks down at drug dealers, but society also pams drugs. So I probably don't understand it. Like I remember I had like a big debate about this. Yeah, so this is 2006, Mark Duggan times. Yeah, Mark Duggan times. Obviously, what happened to Mark? Rest in peace. And I remember like. I was having a proper big debate about it on Facebook, and then I think it was Facebook times, and also in school. And then I think when I first had Twitter, it came up and I had a massive debate with people, and it just makes sense. So a lot of these people are from a different, let's say, a certain demographic that will remain nameless, redacted people. So when you're dealing with redacted people, sometimes the entitlement's so funny. So they're like, so I remember the next day in school. I was like, I was going mad. I was like, this is disgusting. Because I knew straight away, all the lies the police were saying, oh, he had a gun. I'm like, who comes out and starts taking shots at armed police? Like, there's one thing that man then run from, and that's police. Yeah. And you shot him and his gun flew 25 feet over a fence. It just didn't make sense. I'm like, listen, I've seen, no.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, he deserved it. I was like, what do you mean he deserved it? They're like, well, he's a drug dealer. I was like, we have a sentencing system for drugs, and fast and good, it's like a certain amount of years. It's not execution. There's no death penalty in the UK. And they're like, oh, but he shouldn't have been selling drugs then. I'm like, but I don't understand. You smoke weed every day. You take pills. So if he wasn't doing what he's doing, you won't be. Do you know what I mean? Like you're involved as well. Like why is the drug dealer deemed worse than the drug user? I'm not talking about. Obviously, you get some people that are addicted to drugs and then peril situation, but a lot of people just casual users.
Even addictions, they don't start, do you know what I mean, as an addiction.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true. But like, no, I mean like, I'm thinking, fam, you lot out here pamming LSD, yeah, and then you're saying he's a drug dealer. You call your drug dealer every day. But drug dealers look different when they're different colours, innit? People treat them differently when they're different colours.
But it's weird though, because I still also feel like drug dealers are still quite praised. To a certain extent. I think they're quite praised.
By who?
By society.
Which society?
I don't know. I feel like...
You do though, you just don't want to say it.
I don't mind. I feel like black people still put drug dealers on a pedestal.
I think...
To a certain extent. Out of all crimes, it's like, no, it's deemed as acceptable.
Oh yeah. Like something like, oh yeah, mad thing. Oh. I think maybe it's just normalization.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like certain, if you're coming from certain environments, especially part of inner city London, you're just used to it. And to be fair, I can't lie. Obviously it's a crime, but to me, it's, I don't know, my economic mind is thinking just demand and supply. You want this, I've sold it to you. Just because our government said, no, you can't do it. Like, it's the same. Like, cigarettes, it's a drug. It's just legalized. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I feel like it's a real job. I'm not going to lie. The skills that these boys leave with after being a drug dealer, it's ridiculous. Like, and nah, they work too hard. Do you know their hours?
Yeah.
Unless they're bougie and they stop by 12.
Yeah.
They be all night.
Yeah.
That's long. Sorry, no one can ask me to come and do those hours. No, thank you.
Yeah, I know. Them proper slave trade contracts.
Mate, and they're up early and they got to maintain their product and they got to maintain their clientele. They got to re-up. They got to do their maths, their mental maths quickly. They got to give the younger something. Please. I don't work that hard, you know. I'm not going to lie. I don't.
Okay, I was going to ask you, we've been seeing a lot of knife crime, gang violence, blah, 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 talk.
Yeah.
So what's your exposure to it in prison? Do you see a lot of boys coming in from that type of reasoning?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasons, which is so sad, that I see my boys enter that kind of lifestyle is somebody they know died. So their best friend was killed, or someone that was close to them in their vicinity was killed, and then all of a sudden they felt like there was a type of loyalty that they had to then act out.
And so obviously they go do something in retaliation and they get caught, and then...
It's not even just that they go and do something, they become involved.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like you're chilling with people who all share the same pain as you and are putting it to one direction.
So what type of work do you do with them with those type of clients? So what do you try and work with them with?
They're the hardest because as a caseworker, you're not equipped to do, therapy or anything like that. But sometimes the worksheets that you do will poke at Pandora's box. Do you know what I mean? And so you're talking about stuff that they're experienced and you're going through like their life, and do you get what I mean? You're talking to them, you're trying to help them see what their triggers are. You're trying to help them see, how did this come about? How did you end up here? Because you had ambitions at some stage. This is not what you wanted to do. And you're having conversations with them that you can't fully walk them through. I can't walk you through your friend dying and you now seeing the other side of that. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes when I'm having that conversation, it's just restarting that frustration. So, and then they have to go in their cell because your session is not longer than an hour really in custody. So they go back in their cell and they're sitting there fuming sometimes.
Do you think that people like caseworkers like you, do you think they your clients should be able to see them for longer periods of time?
I think the longer you work with them, the more influence you have over them. And the longer they have to kind of like feel your support and genuinely feel like you're actually there because you've been with them for a long period of time. If you've so how we get referrals is we do, sometimes we get referrals from probation, or other prisons will refer people to our service. And those boys are normally the hardest to get in because you're basically doing a cold call. You're calling someone, you're like, I got your number from this person referred you. Do you want to come in and see if we can help you? Are you looking for work? But when I've been working with my boys from prison, they're like, Miss, I'm definitely coming out to check you. Like I have to, because they have a different level of respect for me, and I've seen them through their journey. I've seen them at times where they got beat up, or times where they beat someone else up, or when they finally get a little wing job, or little things like that. They mean a lot. So,
okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did. We've got a couple minutes. What do I want to ask you? I don't know. I have questions, but...
Do you feel like prison does its job? What do you feel like prison's supposed to do?
I feel like prison is supposed to do the things I mentioned: rehabilitate, reform, and obviously provide retribution. Obviously, if you're like on the receiving end of a crime, you want there to be some punishment. And obviously, when I see certain crimes, especially things happen to children, I just want severe punishment. But at the same time, you also want people to come out and be functional members of society. Not everybody has the same opportunities. Okay, in most cases, this is not an excuse, but it's just reality of the same opportunities. I think on a philosophical level, I think it's so mad. When you think about it, let's say you've done a crime and people are telling you, listen, basically, you're off road now. And there's nothing you can do about it. You're in jail, your life is now pretty much scripted, and there's nothing you could, that's nuts. Like, I can't imagine my life being scripted. But I do
regime and stuff.
Yeah, but when you come out, now you have to adapt to having freedom to kind of, well, some may say we're not free, we're all slaves. No.
Oh, please.
But like, know what I mean? So you come out and now you have to function again. And so my thing is, maybe I'm a bit too logical, but I think prison should be a center where there's a high emphasis on rehabilitating people, working out where they went wrong, and reforming people. And I also think, I know people are going to find this a bit mad, but I think more money, and I need to do more research on this because prisons is not my deepest topic. I need to work out how prisons work, how they're funded, all that type of stuff. Like I know the NHS. I feel like the facilities of prisons should be important. Like I don't think that it should be, obviously you shouldn't be, I don't know, maybe you've done a madness, you shouldn't really have the same type of bed as me and like, have like a nice double bed with silk sheets and that. I'm not saying that, or en suite things, no, but obviously I think conditions should be decent. Decent conditions, good facilities, and just have more incentive on learning things. Like I feel like you drive behavior by incentive. So I can't think off the top of my head, but maybe an environment where you kind of engineer it that is in these people's best interest to go learn a new skill.
Yeah.
Or multiple skills. It's in their best interest to behave. It's going to be very difficult. Do you know what I mean? And their best interest to do things that when they come out of the situation they're in, they are less likely to reoffend because reoffending rate is quite high. And they're more likely to become a functioning member of society because I feel you want society to be as tranquil as possible.
Yeah.
And you can't just be treating people like dogs in certain cases and then think, okay, cool. Yeah, and you're a dog now you're a human being. You're going to act like what you were treated for the last, let's say, ever since 4 years. So the last 4 years you've been there.
That's a long time.
That's a long time, fam. That's a World Cup cycle.
Yeah, I just think
4 years ago, wigs weren't popular.
Yeah, I just think that I'm never going to entertain you. I just think that there should be more emphasis on rehabilitation. I think maybe after a period, because I do think that there needs to be that period of punishment.
Yeah.
Because people can't be getting away with things scot-free. If you get to prison and straight away you're doing rehabilitation, it's a bit.
But
I think there should be a period of punishment.
But you didn't get away with it. You're in pen, fam. Like, you're in pen. Like, there's no bad bees in pen B. Like, you can't just go to the shots while this is going on. You can't. You do.
Like, I get that. I think there should be a period of punishment. But then I think when it's coming towards the end of your sentence, there should be a heavy emphasis on rehabilitation. Only because if we want to actually reduce crime, you have to change.
Okay, but you're saying that, but if you're saying, okay, cool, there has to be a period of punishment, what if they deteriorate so much in that period of punishment that they stray more to the side of, outcast? When it's time to rehabilitate, it's hard. It's going to be harder. Man has been headbutting people for the last 6 months and now you're trying to rehabilitate, man.
I mean, they're not getting rehabilitated now.
Yeah, but
do you get what I mean? So
yeah, but
I'm not saying that they shouldn't have that time. I'm definitely saying they need that rehabilitation because I feel like that's what's actually going to help reduce crime. It's what's actually going to help people come out and actually be different.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a difference with boys that I work with, and sometimes just the conversations you have make a difference. So yes, I think rehabilitation is important, but it's not just going to go there and you're good. You're doing courses, and I don't think that you should do that. I don't think it should be like that. I think there should be a period of punishment, then a period for rehabilitation, depending on your sentence. Because if you've been in 8 years, you're going to need longer to rehabilitate. You might need like 3 years to rehabilitate. So at the end of the 5 years, you begin your rehabilitation process where they start walking you through stuff. That's what I think personally.
So, so 5 years I've been doing this. Now why do you think they're going to be...
So you think the whole thing, of prison should be...
Because I
think there should be a balance. I think there should be more.
I'm not saying make jail center parks, like man are getting massages and that. Nah, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like man are eating, man are going vaps as well at lunchtime. Nah, I'm saying that the
punishment is the prison.
That's the prison.
Yeah,
like,
I believe that too.
Because like you've seen it. I'm gonna go with you. Like you've seen them. Like no matter what happens, like, even the people that manage to finesse this off a young smartphone.
Yeah.
Like imagine, like let's say if you're a person now, and you're watching Afro Nation at Beef and Meltdown, fam, you're thinking you have been deprived from women, or if you're not a women person, you're deprived from men or whatever you're into. Yeah. Like you have no access to that. Like you have friends and family on the outside. You have no real access to.
Yeah, a lot of them have kids.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That sort of stuff, and you find that you might see someone on the wing and you think, oh, they're so confident, they're fine. They're riding their bird and they're all right. But that you'll go on their file and you'll see stuff like, oh, the night nurse noted that she saw him crying at night. Stuff like that happens so often where people are feeling it.
Yeah,
it's not nice as much as it may seem.
Not that deep.
Not that deep. And you can be with friends at times. It's still you sin. Some people have to deep their sentences and be like, this is actually a lot.
If you get slapped with a 7 or 15 or 20, even, listen, I'm at work and I'm like, fuck, it's only 30 plans. I have to be in this hellhole to 5. Like, this is people's reality. They're in this place for months, years, some decades. God forbid that thing. Like, do you know what I mean? So, nah, man, I thought that's enough of a punishment.
No, I do think it is.
I think maybe for us on the outside, well, not you, because you've seen the inside, we take freedom for granted.
I mean, but we're not doing anything to not be free.
I know, but I'm saying like we don't understand how
nice it is.
Yeah, because there's some people in certain countries, they're not free.
Yeah, that's true. 100%.
Some people can't even go on a young Google or Facebook It's true though. In North Korea, they'll tell them, yeah, we beat Brazil. These times they held 7 against Brazil. World Cup. Like, freedom, like, honestly, like, freedom is something that we should cherish.
No, it is. Honestly, and I wish, like, some of the younger boys, I wish they saw that more because they be risking it all. And they don't always realize anything. Like, remember one of my clients was telling me he's 19. And we were trying to help him see what kind of career he can go into. And so we started talking about money because I was like, okay, let's be realistic. What kind of money would make you consider coming off road? And he was like, 2,800 a month after tax. And I was like, okay, so what skills do you have? None. Okay, so what do you have that's warranting you to be getting £2,800 a month? Do you have any kids to feed? No. Do you have any bills to pay? No. So what do you need £2,800 for?
Drip.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
A month.
Drip.
That is a lot of money.
Listen.
For someone with no skills. You ain't even live life. You ain't done anything to warrant you having that kind of money.
Yeah.
People are working hard for that kind of money.
Mm.
And technically they're working hard by doing what they're doing on road.
Yeah.
But they just see it as
high level
easier.
risk. Yeah.
The risk that they're taking is ridiculous.
Oh man.
People are doing dumb crimes.
Like what?
I think armed robberies are stupid, but that's just my personal opinion.
Why do you think it's
I
stupid?
just feel like too many people I just see people coming in for that all the time.
Why do you think it's stupid? Where do they rob?
Do you know what? I think I get it, but you'll find like armed robbery with an imitation firearm. Please, what's going on? And they charge you that, it was fake. It could have been, you might not even had a gun. You might have pretended that your phone was a gun and they could do you for imitation firearm.
I don't care. I'm not going to jail.
That's fine for you.
But because of that,
Okay.
I was drawing for an iPhone 10 that you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, but your intention was to cause fear. You basically wanted them to think it was a firearm.
Yeah, it's true. I know. But that's wild. Go to jail back in out an invisible gun.
Just stuff like that. It's just like, guys, there's so many ways to make money these days. I think we're really lucky. We live in a generation where people are making money from everything.
Mm.
People are creating their own job titles.
Mm.
And there's so much opportunity out there.
Drip.
There's so much opportunity out there. And I wish some of them would take it. Some of them don't know though. That's one thing I've realized that I didn't assume. Because when I was growing up, I always knew I could go to uni. I could get any job I wanted. I don't think it was necessarily something my parents pushed in me. I just thought that was part of life as I was growing up. But so many of these boys are like, I was talking to one boy once and I was doing some work with him basically. And I was just like, okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years? He's like, I don't know. And I said, okay, let's go 1 year. Did you see yourself in 1 year? He's like, miss, I've never had to think about this before. It's like, you're 20, 21.
Mm.
You're getting old, okay? You need to start making some serious decisions. And 21 years of age and you've never had to think about where you see yourself in the future. He was only thinking about today. Only thinking about the money he needed today. He couldn't think that far. That's worrying. Or when you ask them, what can you see yourself doing? And they have no grid of what's out there. And another thing is because people are in prison, they assume that they only have to do construction and all that kind of stuff. And they don't realize that there's still so many opportunities out there for them, even with a conviction. So you can still go to uni. I'm talking boys that are young, 20, that are thinking that they're too old to go to uni or they've missed that chance. And it's like people change their careers at 30.
Yeah, sure.
At 35, they decide they forget it, they want to do something else. You always have a chance. And more of a chance when you're younger.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we'll leave it there. Young Phoebe.
Cheers. Can I plug myself?
Do you want to plug yourself?
Yeah, but seriously, not as banter.
Okay, go on, plug yourself.
Well, I am looking for people if they do want to be like mentors or anything like that in different kind of careers. Because obviously a lot of people want to give back, but they don't feel like they have the opportunity or the space to do it.
Yeah.
And if you are looking for anything where you can kind of like talk to a young person about different types of careers, it would be really helpful.
Definitely.
It would be super, super helpful because the more people we have, the better.
100.
There's so many different careers so I help people into employment, but I don't know what architecture's like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need someone to give you a heads up and let you know, oh, do this and don't do that.
Yeah.
And in different careers because I'm not always going to have that knowledge.
Yeah.
So I don't even have anything you can add me on. Oh, you can add me on Instagram.
Instagram?
No, should I give my email?
Yes. Well, let's see on Instagram. See that twerking.
Anyway, so I'll say email my personal email, which is pkaggwa, which is pkaggwa @hotmail.co.uk.
Okay, I'll put that in the description as well and in the YouTube.
You great.
All right, cool. Well, thank you. And
yes, thanks for having me.
Make sure that you like on YouTube. This on YouTube, I beg you lot subscribe because the subscriber numbers are looking bad. It's like, I have more listeners than this. And I know you all have YouTube, innit? So subscribe, yeah. So just type in DISUNOMICS on YouTube. Subscribe. I should look in the camera. Yeah, subscribe. That's if you're still here watching it. What else? Oh yeah, subscribe on SoundCloud. No, follow on SoundCloud. Follow on Spotify and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Also, Trendin Sundays. I think our next one's on the 18th. That's a neon party, so come in your neon colours. You don't have to come in, but it'll be nice and you take the young photos and that.
Should be lit.
Yeah, and also football fans, Touch and Fracas live show, August 11th, Somewhere in Vauxhall. You can see us on Shubs or check out Touch and Fracas on Twitter or Instagram for the details. When we're showing Arsenal, Newcastle, and Man United, Chelsea. It's going to be food, music, and food's hot food, drinks, live show, football. What more could you want? Yeah, but until next week, if I manage to record a podcast in Ibiza, peace.